Hey y'all, I'm Josh, aka Lazer VGM. I'm the composer and sound designer for Lily Mo Games. Hang on, let me figure this out. Got it. This is Cello. She's my muse. She's my little baby. If she doesn't like the music I'm writing, she lets me know. So she kind of like is the first ears that get to hear anything that I do besides my own. We're hanging out in my 10 by 24 studio. It's a little shed that I come to get inspired. I've created this space like a little nerd cave full of instruments and things to make a lot of noise. And I do it in here so I don't bother the wife and baby. And yeah, so anyway, I just wanted to show off the space a little bit and then get into a track breakdown. So we're going to be looking at the first boss song from Saint Slayer, which is also featured in the trailer, which hopefully you guys have seen. If you haven't seen the trailer, we'll throw a link down below, check that out. But if there's one memory that stands out to me as a kid playing video games, and this is there are memories before this, but the one that sticks out to me anyway is popping in a Pizza Hut demo disc that had Crash Team Racing, Spyro the Dragon, I think, but more importantly, Final Fantasy VIII on it. Hot take, I know. And that just taught me what an RPG was, what a JRPG was, and taught me what Final Fantasy was. And I heard Nobuo's music for the first time. And then, yeah, so that's got to be one of the most important moments as a kid in games, for sure, was that Pizza Hut demo disc.
So today we're going to be doing a couple of breakdowns on some of the tracks that we've made for the game. So first being a boss track and the second being a track that nobody has heard yet. So that's going to be fun. We're going to break something down that's new, not in the demo, that will be in the full game. So anyway, without further ado, as you can see, I use FL Studio, which is a long-running DAW in the composing world. This thing has been around since I want to say early 2000s. The first version of this that I used was called Fruity Loops 4. And they dropped the Fruity Loops and they call it FL now, FL Studio. I think they're on like 25, maybe. I'm using 21 on this PC and I use 24 on my laptop. But anyway, so FL Studio, a little bit more modern technology than the trackers that they used to make chiptune on back in the day. And even the tracker that Barry used. Barry used FamiTracker for basically all of Lily Mo's previous games, minus one, were done by Barry on FamiTracker. So that's pretty cool. Here's what we got. I use Contact and I use Super Audio Cart from Impact Soundworks. This is a flippin' awesome library of all original NES, Genesis, SNES, Game Boy, Famicom, Sega Master System, Commodore 64, Atari 2600 samples, like the original sounds from the consoles, ripped in their purest form for me to play around with and make melodies and instruments and sounds with. And so there's even a few drum kits from like the NES that I like to use. So Saint Slayer in particular has a couple drum samples from the NES throughout the whole game that I think just bring a nice sound to it. We're using just a triangle waveform for the bass sound. Let's see. My quote-unquote guitar, I love the Game Boy pulse wave, so I did use the 12.5% pulse. And the cool thing about Super Audio Cart 2 is you have the volume envelopes, you have pitch envelopes, and the filters if you want to play with that. It has an arpeggiator. Has all sorts of built-in effects. I love the built-in bit crusher to get a little crunchier sound, and it does have SNES verb built in, which is a really nice reverb that sounds very Super Nintendo. So the purists, the chiptune purists out here might kind of, tilt their nose up at this a little bit because this is not the purest form of chiptune, but it sounds like chiptune, so it makes me happy. I like it. There's no right or wrong way to do it. So just as long as you're having fun and you like what you listen to. Anyway, so going through some of the instruments I use here. All of these are different, separate instances of Contact. If anyone is like a composer or uses Contact regularly, they know they're probably cringing at the fact that I don't use one instance of Contact for all of these instruments, packed in with, I don't have time for all that MIDI channel routing bullcrap. So anyway, I'm using a Famicom waveform here for the lead in this song. There's a little bass drop. Just a little bass drop sound that I made with a triangle wave. All right, let's play this bad boy. And we make it around to the loop, and lots and lots of video game music tends to loop, you know? And so you've got to find a clever way to get from this point to this point to this point, and then ride it in a big circle to come back to the beginning. And sometimes it's a little more eloquent than others. Sometimes it's rather abrupt, and you just do your best to make something that sounds good. And yeah, so looping the song sometimes can be a task. It can be a chore. It's a lot of fun though, trying to figure it out. So anyway, there's the boss track. That would be Father Pacer's first track. And next, let's check out the sewer track. Do that. And so the sewer slowed down a little bit. Definitely a simple track. Not a lot going on. We've got a guitar patch, a triangle waveform that I used as a lead. This is like one of the first times I used the triangle wave as the lead instrument instead of as a bass patch, and that was kind of fun. And I've got a little harmony, kind of like a counterpoint melody that comes in there, and then just a simple 4 on the floor kick and snare, you know. But this is a pretty satisfying song. A fun fact, this was Barry's favorite song in the game upon its inception until lately. We'll just say that something came out that he liked more. So anyway. So we go back to the loop there, and yeah, simple track, but it gets the job done, especially when you're fighting your way through those stinky sewers. And yeah, don't mind anything that you saw in that sidebar over there. There's literally nothing of interest over here whatsoever, so I probably wouldn't read any of this stuff. And
yeah, man. So that's going to be it for the breakdown. The game is hopefully coming out Q1 of next year, and we would love if you could wish list it on Steam. There's a free demo out that you guys could check out. Leave us some feedback, leave us some comments. You can follow me at Lazer VGM. That's LAZER VGM. And then, of course, Lily Mo Games, Last Stand Media. Yeah, appreciate y'all sticking around.